By now, guys, you know that I went to Babes Ride Out for my second time and had a fantastic time while I was there, hanging out with other babes who rode out. See what I did there? Meeting up with old friends and making some new ones as well. No matter if you're new to motorcycling or you have been riding for a while, when you get together with a few friends who share the same passion as you do, like riding motorcycles, and then you all go out for a group ride, that is fun with a capital F. What's it like for you when you go on a group ride? What fun have you had? What's the largest group ride you've ever been on? Do you prefer rides with friends, like 2 to say 8 bikes, or do you like going on the big charity rides that maybe have 10 or more bikes? When you do go on a group ride, you are doing a lot more than just following the leader. T-clocks, full tank, listen to the ride brief, know the hand signals and pass them back, ride your ride, and have fun. I did go over all of that a couple of months back, and I'll put a link to that video down below as well. Me, I have been on some great rides that went down some beautiful roads that led to wonderful destinations that I might not have known about otherwise. Not to mention the camaraderie that happens on a group ride. At some point, you might want to think about leading a group ride, trying out being the leader of the pack, so to speak. That can be a lot of fun too. Because when everything comes together and everyone is having fun, you know that you were responsible in part for that happening. But how do you get from the idea of leading a group ride to actually doing it? In case you're new here, my name is Dawn, aka Irish Bob's sister, and I am a motorcycle mentor as well as a life coach in training, although that training is ending at the end of this month, and I will be certified, hopefully, if everything comes to plan. So, yay! Are you or someone you know needing someone like me to help you go from beginner to biker? That's where I come in. So head on over to irishbobsister.com. You can check out my blog for tips and tricks as well as my Skillshare class. And then if you're interested, you can sign up for a one-on-one coaching session. How do you know if we're going to be a fit? I don't know either. So you know what? Take me for a test drive, literally. You can sign up to take a trial session for free right there on my website. I've also worked at Harley-Davidson dealerships for almost 15 years now and work full-time as the marketing manager at FX Caprara Harley-Davidson. That means if you want to know more about the MoCo, what it's like to work at a dealership, or just more about motorcycling in general, then you should click that subscribe button right now. But for now, let's go back to the pack and learn how to lead a group of motorcyclists as they go roaring down the road. There's a couple of things that you can do that will definitely help everyone around you. Because I'm fairly certain that if you are wanting to lead a group ride, you want to make sure that everyone has a safe and enjoyable time. And if that's not your main reason, then maybe you should stay back in the pack or even riding solo for a little bit. So here's what you can do to minimize the risk and maximize, hopefully, the fun. First things first, we got to talk. Whether you've known that you'll be leading the ride for a couple of days or longer, you volunteered to lead the ride about 10, 20 minutes before kickstands up, or you got voluntold that you're leading the ride 2 minutes before you guys are supposed to leave. No matter what, you've got to talk to the other people that are riding along with you. Explain the route that you'll be taking, the speed you'll be going, what happens if you need to pass a slower vehicle, that you'll be riding in staggered formation, which hand signals to use and when, where you'll be stopping, what to do if you get separated, and what the road conditions are if you are familiar with the route. You'll also want to ask questions such as, who has the smallest tank? Because that's going to determine how often you guys are going to need to stop. Whose bike is still in the break-in period? Is there anyone who has to stop and or eat at a certain time, such as anyone with diabetes or that is on certain medications? Who's familiar with the route? Do you or do they have any suggestions on to what they should see and what they should avoid? Is anyone leaving the ride halfway through? The more you know before you go will definitely go a long way here. You'll need to communicate the ground rules with the group and let the others know what's expected of them. Next, you're only as fast as your slowest rider. When you're leaving, it's best to go ahead and get ready and then have everybody else line up behind you. That way, instead of just taking off, you're going to avoid that bungee cord effect. And then riders won't feel that they have to rush to keep up. When I'm leading, I'll usually explain to the group that we'll be riding around 5 miles an hour faster than what the posted speed limit is, as long as the road conditions are good for that. Obviously, if it's raining or if there's a lot of dirt and debris, ruts, tar snakes in the road, then I'll go a little bit slower. I also eyeball my rearview mirror quite heavily, because if anyone is slowing down, hanging way back, then I'm going to slow down too, so then that way they don't feel that they have to speed in order to catch up. Explain to all in the group that you want them to ride their own ride and to resist the temptation to keep up, because that's when usually accidents happen. You get somebody who's new to riding and then they feel that they have to keep up and go faster than a speed that they're comfortable with, and then shit heads south. Not fun. Again, you'll be riding in staggered formation and you'll want to try and keep the group together as best you can. That being said, if it's a flat road with good sight lines and a backcountry road without much traffic, then go ahead and speed up a little bit and let the others in the group speed up as well. Then slow down so everybody else can catch back up. Riding through the twisties, my favorite. Here's where you'll want the group to ride single file, because then they'll have the most room across the lane and won't have to worry about getting in somebody else's line. And you'll want to go at a pace that everyone's sort of comfortable with. Once you're through the turns, again, slow down so that everybody can catch up and they don't feel like they have to twist it and go and keep up with you. Staying together means riding together. In town, at intersections, or where there's more of a chance to get separated, you'll want to be a little bit tighter in your riding formation. At stoplights, let everyone box up together so they're side by side, taking up less space. And then when the light turns green, you guys will slowly go back out to staggered formation. As you're approaching a stoplight, slow down. Did it just turn green? Are you going to be able to get your whole group through that intersection in time? Or has it been green for a while and it might be turning yellow real soon? Before you guys left, you should have covered what happens at an intersection and what to do if you guys get separated at the light. Typically, what I'll do is go ahead and just pull over to the right, wait until the light turns green again for the rest of the group, and as they come up, then pull out in front of them. And going slow around corners and just after is a must. Look in your rearview mirror, make sure everyone came around okay and nobody got separated. If you're in town or in a high traffic area, now is not the time to be a speed demon. Take it low and slow and get everyone through safely. Sweeping the piece. The last rider of the group is normally called the sweep, or also known as the tail gunner. And they are just as experienced of a rider as you are. They might be familiar with the route and or how the leader leads the group. Half of their job is to keep an eye on the group in front of them. If a rider is struggling, then they'll make a call as to if that rider should go in another group, push them a little bit more, or have them rest and maybe ride closer to the leader. The other half of their job is to keep an eye out on what's happening behind them. Meaning that if we're going on a road that goes from 2 lanes into 1 lane, they are keeping an eye out behind them to make sure that nobody's coming up in that last few seconds to try and jump ahead of the group. On a highway or interstate, when the leader wants to pass a slower vehicle, what they'll do is signal, then the sweep rider will move to the left, secure that lane, then the lead rider will move over and everyone else follows suit from front to back. When the group has gotten past that slower vehicle, the entire group has gotten past that slower vehicle, Then the ride leader will go ahead and signal that they're going back right. Go ahead and change lanes. Everybody will follow from front to back. Sweep will be last because, again, they're holding that left lane until everybody is safely back over. What really works best is if the lead rider and the sweep rider have a helmet communication headset, then that way they can communicate and let each other know what's coming up. If not, then tell your group to keep an eye on their rearview mirror and the sweep rider, because sometimes the sweep will need to do hand signals as well, and they need to pass them up to the leader because the leader is looking at the rest of the group and something that's usually only about that tall for the rear view mirror. Last but not least, remember it is just a ride, guys. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. No matter what the best laid plans and intentions are, shit happens. People get separated from the group. Someone will break down. Someone else will be holding up the group, etc. I was just on a ride where there was a miscommunication in the route. So a few riders went one way, and the rest of us went the way that we thought we were supposed to go. The group that got separated just decided to keep riding and go to the destination. The other group didn't know that, and we ended up waiting around 20 minutes and before finally deciding, okay, they're not coming, so we're going to just head back. When we did get back and the leader of that ride saw that the others were already back, the leader was pissed. I mean, like, I'm not talking to you, pissed. It's important to remember that as a group leader, you need to remain calm and in control, even after the ride has ended. It's nothing personal. Like I said, shit happens. To me, on that ride, the fact that everybody got to the destination in one piece and everybody was good means it was a win-win for me. And not everyone is going to like your style of leading a group ride either. And that's okay, as long as you clearly communicate at the beginning of the ride and hopefully prevent any misunderstanding. Think things through before that particular show gets on the road. Leading a group wasn't something that I always looked forward to, although now it's a thing that I do actually kind of enjoy because it is so rewarding to see everybody's smile at the end of the ride because they had such a great time. Have you led a group ride? Was it something that you volunteered for or got voluntold to do? How did your ride start? Where did it end? How did it go? Please let me know in the comments below, especially if you know a tip or trick that I forgot. Not only would I love to hear about your experiences, but it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you want to hit more, if you want to see more, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I upload new content, then click that bell. Until the next time, guys, please be safe, be kind to one another, even if they're the slowest rider on a group ride. Ride when you can and have fun.